Okay, so I've seen your comments. A lot of you wanted me to try Linux Mint. Now, something I was going to do anyway, but here I am. Let's get into it. So, as some of you on the channel know, I'm mostly a Chrome OS guy. Thank you for all you new subscribers that came from my Linux videos. And again, that's something I'm more getting into. I was trying Linux again. If you've been on the channel, I've explored Linux on the Linux container that's on Chromebooks. But lately, I've been exploring more of the desktop. Now, most of you came from my beautiful failure video, you know that it didn't work out when I first tried Linux Mint. However, now in my other PC I have in the other room, I have Ubuntu. But again, I always wanted to give Linux Mint another shot. And I've had this laptop stashed away somewhere that just begging to be put a fresh operating system on it. Now, this was just gifted to me, just was cleaning out my church and they was moving and just handed me this, hey, you want it, go ahead and take it. So of course this had Windows on it, password protected, so I couldn't use the Windows anyway on the thing. And I took it and I thought, you know what, maybe I can use it for some project. And that was about a year ago. So I put Linux Mint on this and see if you believe me. I don't know what it is I'm going to be able to show you, but that is Linux. Again, sorry, the super glare that's on this screen right now. Not that you guys don't believe me, but where evidence right there. We're working this Mint. Right now I'm recording on my Dragonfly Pro Chromebook, but my daily carry when I leave this place is my Pixelbook Go. It has been my daily driver for years. Occasionally I've switched to a different Chromebook, but I always keep coming back to this, and it is one of my favorite laptops I've ever owned. And it's usually something that I just keep in my bag with me. But for the past week or so, I not use it at all. Instead, I've been using Mint on this little Dell Inspiron. Now, off the bat, when I'm comparing these two, I'm going to save it for another video about comparing Linux with Chrome OS. Because compared to this with my Pixel Go, hardware-wise, of course, that's way better. All experiences are way better. But I'm not going to mention not suffer because of the inferior hardware that I put it on. This is just something I had around, and I didn't care one way or the other if it bricked. But it worked out. And there's a video on that if you want to see that. Maybe it's in my shorts, but maybe I'll put the video here if you want. Anyway, so hardware-wise, I'm not comparing it to my Pixel Go, although the typing experience has been pretty decent. Shocker. This has been a really good experience. Again, the negative experiences I've had with this been due to its limited hardware. For example, the Pixel Go has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I thought this had 4. This has 3. I didn't think that was even legal. But, so yeah, it stutters sometimes and you can feel it. And so I make sure not to have as many web pages open. But beyond that, from just the software experiences, this has been pretty good. I'm not going to hold you. I thought Ubuntu was a superior. And now that I have both, I can compare those. I'm not at the point yet where I can distinctly say which one is better, or I get, for most of this is going to be preference. But I get now why Mint is the go-to for beginners. Now, I did not. So a lot of the comments said that going from Windows to Linux, Mint is the go-to. Is either Mint or Zorin or S. I'll get to that later. I'm thinking about should I try that or not. You guys let me know if that's something you want to see. But this, again, I'll make a probably dedicated video between Linux and Chrome OS, but this did make me want things on my Chrome OS device, on just Chromebooks in general. The customization, I know it's a small thing, but when I finally discovered the themes on here, and I just download all these themes, and it just changed the way it looks. I didn't know Linux users keep talking about customization, and I just found that maybe just a few days ago, and now I get it. And even just how I set up, how I got the icon smaller, I could change the display. All the while, I am enjoying the device. This is actually pretty cool. And I really don't have much bad things to say about it. There are some things I could say that I would want better on here, and some things I think my Chromebook does better. Again, not hardware-wise. Hardware-wise, that will win. But if I can theoretically put something like this on superior hardware, more RAM, then it would catch up. Also, compared apple oranges kind of thing. But ultimately, I found that I didn't miss much. When I take this out of here, I'll probably use this again today. Hardware-wise, I will say, I hate that this is an old, cheap old laptop, but yet it has actual ports. Actual port display has has micro SD, which is needed because this thing only has like 32 gigs of internal storage. So I got to add 128 to that. Has a headphone jack, but again, that's just hardware-wise. I have been pleasantly surprised at how much that I am enjoying Linux Mint. And I thought maybe I should replace that on my Ubuntu, but I don't. Reason why I'm hesitant to distro hop, as in like actually changing, it is because all my information is saved on there, and I will have to save that to an external drive and then just put it back on, which maybe is something that I'll do. It is my alternate PC. I do use it semi-daily, but it's just a hassle. And since I have Mint here, I do like the idea of just having multiple operating systems in the house, just so I can really compare them all. And there might be something that it does better. Off the bat, there is something this does better than Ubuntu. And first off, it is the ease of customization. When I found themes on here and I was excited to put that on, I was excited, and because I discovered this while I was out and about at work, but I was excited to get home and say, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing to Ubuntu. And no, that did not happen because the settings are not the same. And I get it's a different operating system, but I was like, okay, advanced settings. Where are the advanced settings? I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but it is not as easy as it is on Mint, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why it's more difficult on that system than on Mint. I thought maybe this was the stereotype. The impression I got from Mint is that it was beginner friendly, but that it was like childish, limited kind of thing. People always talked about that Mint is good for beginners, but how now some people in my comment section said they've been with Mint for years. But the impression was that it was something that you outgrow, you leave behind. And now I'm wondering, after using Mint just for a week, I'm wondering, I don't know, what more can you want? Now, there is an app that I couldn't install on either of these systems, and maybe I'll get into that in another comparing video. Do I want to compare Mint with Ubuntu? I feel like that's been done before, but it's just my experiences. So that's all I have for today. Again, thank you all for everybody who recommended it. Took me too long to jump on board, but I like my Mint. That's all I have for you today. Just a little update. I know a lot of you are curious about where I am in my Linux journey or whatnot, but just question, what operating system do you use? And have you tried Mint? And if so, are you still on it, or why did you leave it? And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you and take care.